we doing?
Coach, you had talked about today being a more full contact practice. How did it go? Did everybody come out health-wise good?
Yeah, it was an intense practice. Locked in on a lot of game-specific type things. Now that we're in prep for the regular season, you can do stuff more geared toward what you're going to see with your next opponent. And we had a good spirited practice.
But everybody's healthy though, except Daniel.
Yeah, I limited Brad and Book with some minor stuff, but they should be good to go.
And then obviously you have to get the roster down to 15. What's maybe the next 12 hours like to get that number? Because obviously you have the guys that you're looking at, but it's obvious. But curious how you're viewing that right now.
Yeah, just meetings with James about the roster, and making whatever we feel like is the best decision for our group. And we'll have more information at 5 o'clock tomorrow, if not sooner.
Looking ahead to opening night, how do you see the Chris Paul fit with the Warriors and what he brings forward?
He's one of the all-time winners in this league, so he's only going to enhance what they do. Creates a lot of different challenges. Another guy that we got to worry about and game plan for. So it's definitely a concern.
Not to look too far ahead, but I was asking KD about this. Going back to state for the first time in front of fans. Just have you gotten a sense from him what that means to him, or what that might be like?
I have not. I haven't talked to him about it.
Have you done the same thing with yourself? Looking ahead to LA a little bit, obviously focused on the task at hand, but to allow yourself that moment of kind of self-reflection, being back in there?
Yeah, I'm so locked into winning and developing what we got to develop to win. I haven't really even thought about that.
Coach, what's going on? I'm sorry. What's going on with Devin while you're limiting?
Sore toe.
I was just when did Brad kind of start having the back tightness? How much has that limited him just in practice?
I think it was the day of Palm Springs game. He woke up from the practice the day before with soreness.
What have conversations been like? I know you talked about preserving Book and his minutes. What about just preserving him over an 82-game season and getting him fresh for April when you guys need him most?
Yeah, just make all decisions and on all injuries on a case-by-case basis. I'm a pro play guy if guys are healthy, but guys are dinged up and we have to manage certain injuries. Then you manage them, case by case.
With Steph, is he a bigger challenge for you as a defensive mind on the ball or off the ball?
It's a tie. In all ways, he's a concern of mine.
Coach, after taking a year off, is it tough for you to come into the season right away playing against really two tough opponents? Or is it?
Wouldn't have it any other way. The harder it is early on, the more you're tested, the more you're forced to be perfect or to be near perfect to get W's. So. Definitely two great teams that we're playing right out of the gates, in tough environments, and it'll be a good challenge for us.
Kevin had just said that Maxim about the identity of the team. He said defensive versatility. First of all, he said obviously we want to hang our head on defense, but all teams say that, but we want to be versatile defensively. You had to provide the identity of the team offensively. How would you categorize, summarize that?
Yeah, just a team that's going to play for each other. We're going to play selfless basketball with knowing that we have elite talent around us. We want to play effort offense in terms of an offensive identity. We want to be a fast-breaking team, a offensive rebound crashing team. We want to be an aggressive screening team. And like I said, we want to play selflessly.
What's been your thoughts? I know you guys are big on the multiple ball handler attack. How do you think that's looked in the preseason? Is it meeting your expectations?
I'm really not there yet because we've had so many different lineups and different combinations out there. I expect it to be a little bit of a work in progress early in the season. But until we have everybody out there, then we'll be able to make a better determination on that.
Coach, when it comes to your rotations early in the year, are you going to play some guys more that wouldn't be playing, or is it how do you manage that rotation at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, play to win. Play to win, and but obviously have a regular season minutes type of rotation.
Book's sore toe, is that kind of a contact thing or a snub?
Yeah, it's just sore toe. That's all we got.
Coach, do you have a favorite colorway for book one?
I don't.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach. Curious just now that obviously the preseason's over, you guys had a pretty, I'm assuming, extensive practice today. How are you now feeling about game day real Tuesday?
Well, excited to start the season. We've been preparing for the last 2 weeks, and I think coaching staff has been doing a great job of implementing the identity we want to have, the schemes we want to use as a team. So looking forward to putting it to use, start the season. And it's always an exciting time when opening night comes around.
Obviously, talk about identity. If you could just summarize what you feel like the identity is as of right now for this group.
A team that's going to hang their hat on defense. Defensive versatility, I think, more so than anything. Everybody hangs their hats on defense in the league, but being a versatile defensive team is something that we want to be, and easier said than done. I know it's going to take some growing pains for us to get there in game, but I like the direction we're going in. So I think that's really who we are. Obviously, we got guys that can score the basketball, but it's who we want to be on that side of the ball.
Curious, obviously, you hadn't played in front of the Golden State fans. Last time you were there, with no fans there. How are you feeling about getting back there where you had obviously great success, won championships, and the fans still view you as that guy that was on that team?
Yeah, I'm excited to play in front of those fans. I spent some incredible moments there, and we had built a bond that I don't really have to be spoken about. Me and the fans there in the Bay Area. I feel like they've been supporting me well before I came there, actually. And then once I became a part of the Warriors, they just went even harder in support of me and myself, my teammates. But you felt every player individually felt what it was like to play for the Golden State Warriors, and then to win a championship, you just immortalized there, So no matter what your role was on the team. So excited to get back in front of the people I call family there in that organization, and fans that I, went as hard as I could for 3 years there, so it should be fun.
You know their system better than most, to say the least. How do you think Chris fits into it?
He fits well. Somebody that can offset just the three-point chase, and the guy that can shoot the mid-range, that can get to the paint, and can just do something outside of shooting threes like the rest of the guys do. So it's just kind of like that specialty player that they needed, and him, Wiggins, Draymond, those guys are just kind of the glue for the team. So they can pretty much fit anybody in their system and it'll work well.
To your point, what does it do for them to have two different types of threats in Steph and Chris, where the way you think about game planning for them is completely different?
Yeah, you just can't be gimmicky with those guys. You got to be straight up and just play hard, solid basketball. That's really what it is, And those type of players, they're smart enough to read the gimmicks and read to, any coverage you throw at them. So it's all about just playing hard and making it tough as possible on them.
In a game like that, being opening night, I know that you're focused on stacking days and the season opener, obviously, but do you kind of allow yourself that moment of self-reflection being in front of the fans again?
Most definitely. I mean, I can't tell you right now how to be, obviously, but when you look up and you see all of the people that I played in front of for that long, and you realize the memories I had, you had in those colors. This stuff might start rushing back in that moment. Who knows? But we'll see what happens. It's always reflect on my time there. I always try to pull from each time that I had and each stop that I played in, and try to implement it in some form and fashion into the new situation. So it's been a great experience playing for the Warriors. It was a great experience playing for the Warriors.
Not to look too far ahead, but obviously the next game you get to play LeBron in a regular season game for the first time since 2018, I think. You got to see him a couple days ago. Just what is it like being able to be on the court and go against one of the all-time greats?
Yeah, it's always an honor to play against the best of the best. These guys, especially somebody in their 21st season, he could pack it up and just say, man, I done did it all, I did enough. I done gave the game everything, but he still loves to play. And he brings the best out of everybody on the floor. So it should be fun for all of us.
How important is it going to be to get a full season with Book and Brad and put it all together rather than you get traded here last year and you have to try to put something together quickly?
Yeah, man, that's continuity is an important part of basketball. You seen it last year with the Denver Nuggets. They had the most continuity, I think, in the playoffs and was able to win a championship. So it's just about building every day, and I'm looking forward to doing that. We've been putting some great days in since I got here back in February. So all that stuff's gonna matter when it's time for us to really get going here.
What have conversations been like with the coaching staff about preserving your body and keeping you healthy just through an 82-game season?
You can't. I mean, if some shit's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. You know, you try to prevent me from being injured or being out there, then I don't see what good that does. You know, just let me play. Whatever happens, happens, and just trust that we'll figure it out from there. But we haven't had any conversation. I mean, if we do what we need to do on the floor every night, then it won't. You know, you don't have to play 45 minutes a night or 44. You know, when we got a deep team like this, so. We just got to be ready to play, and whatever happens, happens. I just got to live with it.
Kevin, obviously you've been on a part of good teams for a while, so how does it feel when you open the season against tough teams? Is that something that you embrace? Do you like that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's playing against top competition is the best part about playing basketball.
Kevin, when you look at I asked Coach about you playing the 5 like you did the other night, and he was like, well, you want to be a hybrid. You just mentioned defensive versatility. How do you like that look of being at the 5 in just certain seconds?
I'm down to do whatever coach needs me to do. I feel like I've conditioned my brain and my body to be able to adapt to any situation at any time on the basketball floor. So whatever coach needs me to do, I got to go out there and do it to the best of my abilities. I'm not saying I'm going to execute every time down, but I have the capacity to do so. So I'm going to go out there and do the best that I can at it. So if I need to play the 5 more minutes one night, then I'll have to do it.
On Tuesday, you guys are in that marquee slot for the opening night. League schedule, you guys are going to be in many more spots like that the rest of the regular season. That's something you've been dealing with for a long time in your career. It's new to some of these guys, though. Is there anything you've learned over the years in terms of not taking any of these games too big for what they are, or anything like that?
Approach it how you need to approach it, to be honest. If it's a huge game to you, then let it be a huge game to you. You know, if it's not, then just do your job. So you never know what these games mean for certain individuals. It may be a sentimental moment for some shit that we have no clue about, that we don't know about, and so just embrace the journey as you see fit. But do your job at the end of the day. I think that's always a message from coach, and we're gonna try to do that to the best of our abilities.
Kevin, shoot question. What's your favorite colorway for the book one so far?
That's a great question. He got the yes sir, yes ma'am, no sir joints on right now. I think he has some Air Force Ones that he did. Remember the Air Force Ones he did? That colorway, he remade those for his book one, so it's probably my favorite one so far. Yes, sir. Yeah.
You guys
Hello, everybody.
Hey,
So you obviously getting some extra work there in FDF. Is that just to get it in before you get the season going, or?
Yeah, I'm just where I feel like everybody, fans, players, ready for the season. Like it did say, come for real. So we're excited for next 2 and then go back home.
Curious, what do you see when you look at just now that you're going through preseason training camp and where the squad is right now going into the season?
Like mentally?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think everybody or 90% of the players love it preseason. I feel like it's just the reps and some people condition and stuff. But obviously probably more for coaches to just see. And I feel like just that's behind us, so it's good.
Jusuf, you're brought in to kind of be a rebounder, defensive anchor in the system. What are your thoughts just about filling that role and the expectations you put on yourself for this season?
I mean, nothing new. I feel like it's just the stuff we've been working on. Now it's just a count. And I feel like for me, personally, I'm high on myself and what they're asking me to do. I really believe I'm confident that I'm going to do that job right. And they do the same. I feel like they put belief in me in the right ways. And I'm ready to do it. I mean, it's going to take, don't get wrong, we're twisted. It's going to take full team to do the same page and to know how much it's mean to get rebound and to box out your own players and to be on the same page. I think we understand that so far.
We were talking to KD and he was saying, he feels it's important to develop chemistry with his big man. You've been able to find him on some back cuts and things like that. Just how do you feel that chemistry is developing between the two?
I think it's going to just get better, personally. I think he didn't, no disrespect to a lot of, players he played with. I don't think he played, with a player like myself. I just want to see somebody like him getting more open shots, backdoors, easier points. Even everything he do feels like easy as hell. Like just these, he's such a great player that a lot of times I'll be just passing the ball to see what's gonna happen, looking in practice. But I think I'm gonna make a lot easier for Book, Bill, and everybody in the team.
You're familiar with Drew's game. He was in that passing role a little bit last game as well.
It was in my bag, yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm excited. Everybody. Obviously we have 18 players now, new CBA. Like, I feel like it's a sometimes NFL team. Like just how many players we got, which is excited and super happy for the people who get opportunity. I think a dream, come true to see these players getting opportunity. So I feel like during the season you never know what's going to happen, so you have to stay ready. And like Coach said, first week you might need rotation, but second, third, fourth, who knows? So I think that's important to people understand. But I feel like everybody who was playing, they'd give, best shot and compete for the minutes and earn the minutes.
We saw him, you've seen him dunk on people before, but that dunk he had on Rui the other night when
Nothing new, man. Drew, when he's sneaky, he'd be getting some up.
Do you remember the first moment in practice where you saw that in Portland? You were like, oh my goodness.
In Portland, I don't know if he did a lot of those, especially in practices, because we was playing more like post. He would try to take charges and flop. So I was like, at some point the coaches was calling that foul, like offensive foul. So I was on coaches to not call that, so he was just on the ground. So, but yeah, I love Drew.
A lot of the mentality for Frank has to do with physicality. He's coached a lot of big bodies over the years. You're the latest one. How much do you feel like it's part of your responsibility on this team to be the guy leading the charge there with physicality?
I mean, like I said, the coach has really good experience with the bigs, and I'm excited at that part. I think he's genius what he's trying to do defensively, regardless who you play. Adjustments. Some people can be afraid to do adjustments in the game days, but I feel like at the end of the day, the playoffs time is just an adjustment thing, and you have to know personnel, who you're gonna, how the way people you're gonna guard, and I think he's really genius at that. As long as we execute his plan, I think we're in good shape.
You guys have not a traditional point guard and a multiple ball handler attack. What's it been like just as a big plan within that, and how do you think that's looked so far?
I think the game is so much changed that there's no position no more. Mm-hmm. Literally, like you can start me at the point guard, the Book in the center, and it doesn't really matter no more. Like, I feel like obviously it's helped when you have a team with a traditional point guard or whatever you call that. But I feel like personally no more is just looking for the positions, how much skill set you have, and you can see by how we drafting people. Like these young kids can do a lot of things. Like probably 20 years ago, you will look at the bigs, oh, he can do certain things good, and that's good. But now you have to dribble, have to pass the ball, you have to be able to space the floor, set screens and tap and goes, and I feel like a lot of things change. But personally, I don't think positions no more require. So requiring certain things that now you really need to be, really point guard or real center. Now, small ball is the thing. Are the people are centers who they play small ball? Like KD at the 5, LeBron at the 5. Like, I think the certain thing is the same. Look at it like a point guard thing. It's just personal opinion. So.
You mentioned having to be able to do a little bit of everything. On the shooting front last year, you had a career year, got up the most attempts you ever had. How important was that for you to add that to your arsenal?
I felt like I always had that. It's just which coach gonna let me do it, and I think Chauncey was, his staff, Roy Rogers, was really into that. Like, give me an opportunity to shoot in the game, because that's the only you can get reps. Like, you can practice as much as you want, and at the end of the day, you can beat Jordan in practice. If you don't play, then it doesn't mean you're gonna translate that, right? And I feel like they was really giving me the confidence that, not the confidence in shooting wise, just the opportunity to do it. And it was big for me, for the team, to be able to space the floor, but obviously maybe Frank don't see that, or whoever. I'm here to do whatever he asking for me. So some open shot might take it just in case, but if he said no, don't take threes, I'm not gonna take threes. I'm not against that. Even I know I'm capable of doing, but like I said, I came here really to help the team win. So whatever it takes, I'm willing to do. So because it doesn't matter my stats. If we walk in with the win, I'll be happy as God on earth. So.
Jusuf, how, with it being MVP season now, do you feel like you've meshed in quicker than you would have thought coming
I mean, that question is hard to answer. I feel like preseason, like I said earlier, I feel like a lot of people don't take serious as far as like stats, and you can see some people in a really chance. But to your point, I feel like I'm still adjusting to play with the players we have. But at the same time, defensively, I have to be on top of the things in the opening night and go forward. So there's no like I'm looking for excuses. I feel like I learned that with Dame. There's no excuses. You just play good or bad. That's simple as that.
Do you have a favorite colorway for book one so far?
Favorite color his shoes?
Yeah.
I didn't see a lot of those. He hiding them. I needed. But yeah, that's a dope shoe. I feel like they did a great job, and I'm trying to force him to put the 18 so I can wear it. But, I'm not a small guy, so he need to work out that one. Either the main time I'm just gonna steal a KD, so you have the same size.
There you
So I'm good either way.
Thanks.
Yep, you're welcome.
Thanks, Nurkic.